The HumphreyLaw Sock Company was established in 1947 and the business remains in the hands of the Law family. HumphreyLaw socks continue to be made wholly in our Heathmont, Melbourne factory by dedicated staff, some of whom have been with us for over 30 years. This video shows you how we make our socks. We take care to buy natural yarns that are the best for making socks. Our fine merino 19.5 micron wool comes directly from graziers in Boorowa, New South Wales. It does not prickle or itch. We use stronger mercerized cotton, which dyes with darker, clearer colours. We buy alpaca yarn from Creswick spinning mills and baby alpaca yarn direct from Peru. Carefully sourcing our raw materials means that we buy yarns that are fit for purpose and of the best quality and the right strength. Every HumphreyLaw sock is made to a specific recipe. That requires yarns to be twisted together to get the right combination for a particular sock. Cones of yarns are mounted on the twisting machine and combined so the finished sock will have the best stretch to keep its shape after many washes and the strength to wear well. Here there are 3 individual yarns being twisted together, 2 wool yarns and 1 nylon, to make a special yarn for the heel and toe of a wool sock. Cones of these combined yarns are then taken to the knitting room. We have many computer-controlled knitting machines of various sizes and types. We keep an extensive supply of spare parts and all maintenance is done in-house. The knitting room is temperature and humidity controlled. Cones of yarn are loaded on top of the knitting machines and threaded into the knitting feeders through yarn fault sensors and tension controls. The knitting machines have rotary cylinders of latch needles that knit a tube, with a pocket knitted on the side for the heel and one at the end for the toe. When the tube reaches the required number of rows of stitches for a particular sock, the knitting head raises, an arm extracts the sock and the toe is linked, while the next sock commences knitting. To ensure each sock style is of consistent size, a random selection of socks is measured after knitting to ensure their length and width are correct. By knitting socks with a high stitch density and with accurate size measurement, we ensure a more accurate fit and a longer life for the final product. We dye all socks in-house, and during this process the yarns relax and the sock contracts to its final size. This relaxation occurs because knitting tensions are removed and the elastomeric stretch yarn contracts to its correct size. This relaxation may be from 10 to 50% depending on the sock yarns used and the length of each stitch. Socks are heated to boiling point during the dyeing process, which means that they will not change shape later when they are machine washed and tumble dried. We only use dyes and chemicals that conform to European standards because they result in cleaner waste water, which helps reduce our environmental footprint. We also use solar hot water in the dye house, use LED lighting and recycle as much of the waste from the sock making process as is possible. HumphreyLaw socks are then pressed to ready them for display in retail stores. The pressing machine comprises parallel heated plates which squeeze the sock as it passes. Pressed socks are then sent to the quality control area. Every HumphreyLaw sock is manually examined before it leaves the factory. Graders are looking for any knitting defects or irregular dyeing and ensure only perfect socks proceed to the labelling process. Socks are labelled to complete their readiness for retail display. The labels define the content of the sock and provide washing instructions. The attachment of the Australian-made label indicates that the sock has been wholly and proudly made in Australia.